day 140, and you can see I'm back from my holidays from the UK, and I struggled the last couple of days and still am with, it seems, an infection. I'm not sure. I have to go to the doctor today or tomorrow in the morning, depending on when my doctor is back. It was severe. It was really, really bad. And if somebody says, drink your electrolytes, more fluids, eat some fat, and these kind of things, which is food or drink related, I'm gonna strangle somebody, because carnivores do get sick, and it has nothing to do with nutrition, and it has nothing to do if you have enough of your electrolytes and your salt and your water and your fat. We do get sick. We do also have the flu and these kind of things. But what I realized, it seems like it's just different. For me, problematic, because it's just very different. So I'm not sure and cannot tell what is causing it in the first place. But it's scaring me, really, it's scaring me, and I really have to check that out. So what's usually happening? I do have fever attacks since I'm about 16. I do have that maybe twice or 3 times a year, and it's basically most of the time 1 day, 2 days. When I have high fever, it's not really it is maybe a hallucination, because everything, like a hand, just starts getting bigger, 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 and everything is just like you take a picture and do it like that. That's what's happening to my vision when I'm really high fevering, and I start just not hearing stuff, or my vision gets completely then blurry and I can't see anything. That's how my fever attacks usually go. And then I have like really, really high fever. And usually it goes away after a couple of hours, just having my fever meds, or also some natural things you can do if you have that. By the way, it works when you have potatoes just in socks. That really helps the potatoes absorb the heat. They have it also with onions, depending, but potatoes work for me the best. It's an old recipe from our grandmothers, and it really helps the best without having the pills and these kind of things. But for me, usually a paracetamol, Mexaline based, I don't know if you have that in America, that helps really fast with these kind of things, like in maybe 20 minutes, an hour, depending. And usually my body reacts always the same. I'm burning. I'm really burning. You can, even I've touched myself. It's really, touch myself. If I touch my skin, it's really burning, and these kind of things happen with my eyes. But the last couple of days, just something else happened, and I couldn't really recognize if it's a fever attack, because my body kept the same temperature. I haven't been hot, but the symptoms were similar, not same, but similar. My vision started just to being really bad. I couldn't look in the far. I just have to look at one point and it's okay. But as soon as I look far, after a couple of minutes, it started to vibrating, and it's just the vision changes and everything melts in it together. I can't tell the colors and everything. I just can't explain it. It's really, the vision is just faking it, what's happening. And then it's like you are drunk on a roller coaster. That's how it feels. And my issue was that it was on Thursday, probably, it started to getting really bad. Is a pain here, which I can't tell if it's coming from the heart or from the breast part, because I explained it in some of my videos. I was stupid when I was 19. I got some breast implants, and I had troubles with the left side, and they had to put some injections into the side over days. And at the time I was young and didn't think about it, but now everything that's happening in my body and goes wrong is always on the left side. And that's a little bit of this kind of thing that throws me off. I have to say, I'm scared of doing the MRI to see if something is broken inside or something, if something's just not how it's supposed to be, because one of my biggest scares, and I will put them out, but for me, one of my biggest scares is going to surgery, because most of the things that happened to me happened also in surgery, which went wrong. And that's why it's my biggest scare. If I know it, I know I have to do something about it. If I don't know it, I'm like in my head, then I don't have to act around it. So That's a little bit the thing that I'm scared the most, because since 2 years, I explained it also in a lot of videos, I have this strange pain on the left side under the breast actually, but now it started to have this pain here, and I still hope it's just something different. Is maybe something just temporary, or I don't know. But I can't remember that I hurt myself, or just fall down or something, and that didn't happen. But still, it might be that from the sleep I slept on something. That's always in my mind, but I have to check it out. I know it, but I'm just scared of it, because knowing is the problem. When you know it, you cannot not unknow it. So that's just freaking me a little bit now out, because everything is also with my vision happening on the left side, and that's what's really throwing me off. And these new symptoms showing up are really scary, because I'm not used to them. It has nothing to do with me having too much protein and having too less electrolytes and blah 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 blah, all the same bullshit that every carnivore throws at everybody. It's just not, things happen in your body, and that's the issue I'm having, and that's what I need to figure out. And yeah, for me, the first steps is going to the doctor and see if they can just check my heart, so I can be fine with it, because it can still be something from an infection. Because I do think also from being at a festival and freezing and these things, maybe I had an infection, just it occurs different on carnivore. Probably it can be that we are just reacting differently depending on also what we're eating. I think that, because so what happened, it got worse and worse and worse. And yesterday at the airport, I can't explain it to you. It was awful. It was really, really awful. I couldn't look in front of me. It was like being on a roller coaster, just losing it. And this pain here, it just started to freaking me out. And maybe it was more like a panic attack than because of that, or I don't know. But I swear to God, I wouldn't even wish that to the person I hate the most on the planet, to feel that way. I thought somebody's killing me. I really thought somebody is killing me. That's what my brain went to. Somebody's killing me. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. And I had that before, when I was on the wrong meds, when they put me on the meds for Lyme disease, before they saw that it's MS. So the medication for the Lyme disease causes me to just freak out completely, having this anxiety, like these attacks, which you can't explain to somebody who didn't experience that. I talked to Anthony in the UK about it, because he exactly knows how that felt, because he had the same experience also on the medication part. It's just, you cannot explain it to somebody. It's just the most ugliest, disgusting thing you can imagine happening in your body. You don't know what is happening. You're just losing it. It's like you're hallucinating and you don't know where you are. It's like you're in another dimension, and it's just something, you're just not there yet, there where you should supposed to be, and that everything, you're just losing it. And I started losing it. I really started losing it. I had a panic attack. I had to hold my hands on the chair, try to focus, try to breathe. It was just my tears just ran and ran and ran. I couldn't stop crying, but I wasn't crying. I wasn't sad. I wasn't, it was just, everything went on. I don't know. I can't explain. I would love to explain it, but I can't. I just can't. It was so bad. And I felt chased all the time. And I had such a panic attack. And that's when I talked to a friend, and then I realized that my symptoms are normally typical for my fever symptoms, but different, completely different, but similar. That was the only thing that had a little bit of a similarity, and I thought maybe it's just an infection that I went through. So I took Amoxicillin and it got better. It got better. So that's why I thought maybe just the fever shows now differently in my body. I don't know. I don't think that my doctors will know, because carnivore and just changing your diet like in this way is very unknown. It's an unknown field to know what is happening actually with you. Me having MS and Hashimoto and all this crap. It is what it is. it's hard to tell what's causing it. Where does it come from? Is it food? Is it not food? Is it the electrolytes? Is it not electrolytes? Is it, you know, just some stress situations, some MS symptoms showing up, something of my disc prolapse as well. So is it a Hashimoto? Is it the hormones? What is it that's causing it in the end? So this is a little bit of a difficult situation for me to figure this out, and the doctors are also struggling with figure these things out. Also my low iron, which doesn't explain it now, me also being on carnivore in that matter, it's really bad. The B12, I had also to take the shots, maybe they have also an effect on me. So we have too much of different kind of things that might happening, and to figure this out is really tough. And yeah, so for me, I know that I have to figure out these two things, but I'm scared. So one thing I don't care, it's the hard, I know it sounds strange, it's the hard part. So if they check that and it's fine, then this is good. But I have to do the MRI because of the implants, and I'm scared to death. Really, I'm scared to death. Because I just saw how many things go wrong, especially at these kind of surgeries, and that's the last thing I want to put my body through, because every surgery on MS you're having is putting your body into a stress situation, so you can have seizures because of the stress you're causing your body, especially with surgeries. So it's not only about, you know, the basic things you have on surgery, it's about the effects it will have after, and I'm just really, really scared of that. If really something's wrong, that this has to be fixed. So sorry for the little bit dark thing, and also the weather is horrible again. So also my country is not recovering. I'm back now, and it's not recovering from all the floods. It's getting worse. The rain was really heavy. It was looking so bad. I never saw something like this before. It was just like, I don't know, somebody's pouring a whole thing over, and it's just, everything was so loud. The flashes and these kind of things, it's really bad. So everything in total now, also with the weather, is really causing me some kind of issues. If it would be actually, you know, nice outside, so we can go a little bit outside and just take a walk, my dog and me or something, but not even that. So I hope I can get to the doctors today or tomorrow, depending on when my doctor is here. I hope she's not on holidays, because she knows my history, and it doesn't make sense to go to somebody else. So then I will figure hopefully these things out and keep you updated. Also my appetite goes back. To be honest, I'm not really hungry. I feel, you know, stomach sick, but it's also because of my vision. I just felt drunk. And I'm not drunk, so that's not fun. Since I don't drink anymore, and feeling drunk and not drinking, that's boring. I have to say. So yeah. I bought a barbecue, because I can tell you also the meat on the barbecue was just so unbelievable good. So I will try to learn how to barbecue, and just a small barbecue, nothing special, but just to make my ground beef maybe on the barbecue, because that's when I didn't need also my sheep cheese that I love with my ground beef. So I will try that. Strange that I'm not feeling hungry. I feel cravings for fat, so I'm giving my body the fat per se. I tried not to drink coffee today, but I took a caffeine pill because I have to work, and still, you know, 1 hour difference does make it a big difference for me. But I feel really just, I don't know, I feel shaky. I feel a little bit just in not my best, let's say it like that. And that's just a little bit of a struggle, I have to say, because on carnivore, one thing you have to realize, we know how you can feel when you're Superman and Superwoman, and when we feel like that on a lot of days, let's say it like that, a lot of days. Some feel it every day, but really rarely the people do feel like that. It's most influencers that feel that way. Most normal people don't feel that way every day. But we know how you can feel, and how happy, and how just normal, I would say, just balanced you can feel, how motivated also from your body parts. You want to do sport, you want to move your body, and these kind of things that's happen naturally, and you want to do the right things just pure out of nature. That's what's happening on carnivore most of the days, but some days are just not like that. And the question is always why? What does cause it in the end? Because if you eat every day the same thing and it's still up and down, it's not the food. So you have to look deeper into what is happening else. You know, is it a stress part? Do you have something that you're not, that you never talked about? Maybe something from your past. Maybe it's really, I don't know, some ex that's still causing you issues, you know, and you're thinking about it. Or is it job part that you're not totally satisfied and still a little bit, you know, always try to risk it and change it, but you are just too afraid because you have a family, maybe you need the money, whatever it is. That also something, and by the way, which a little pisses me off, always, stupid idiots. If you at Corona time had a job like I did, working in a medical field, we had to take the shots. We will lose our job. And people saying, yeah, but some people, you know, just quit their job just because to make a stand, not to have the injections. I'm a fucking single mom, so I'm not gonna stand my, even if there's gonna kill me, if this is my job and I'm gonna have to do it, and it's a part of, I had to do it and I had no chance not doing it, I had to do it. So do I regret it for my job part? No. Do I regret having the four of the fucking shit injections for Corona, which is now having so much evidence, which of course caused the people problems. I try to really stop my mom and my son having it as much as I could, to stop and prevent them having it in the first place. But I didn't have a chance. I had to go through it because of my job. So do I think that all messed us up? Absolutely. And did my symptoms and these kind of things just started before? Yes, of course. So it has nothing to do with that in the first place. But do I think that it makes some stuff maybe worse, or some things happening in my body that's just not supposed to happen like that, and just because somebody put something in me? Absolutely. It's just a logical perspective on these kind of things. If you just develop something really fast and put it out, I can tell you also from my IT perspective, if we develop an app really fast, don't have the time to test it proper and so on, it's just, everything goes to hell, even if we are having the best people. So of course, you know, even testing something of a longer period of time, it never guarantees you that everything goes good and okay. And especially with medication, it's happened like this, you know, of course it's gonna go wrong. Where do we know things that didn't go wrong? Even if you think about it, how Viagra and these kind of things were developed in the first place, for what they were developed in the first place, then you will know what I mean, you know. Or how even everything just developed in these kind of things. So it's very interesting also to look deeper into it, especially stuff like ephedrine and these things that actually are used also for people like in illegal matters. It's very interesting what they were here for, and when they got banished from which country, and when the other countries joined them. Very interesting, by the way. Sibutramine, I think it was one of the medications that was for obesity. Very interesting. It's gonna surely happen also with the ones that Kim Kardashian is now using in this bullshit. It's just awful. It's just awful what people put in their body and what's happening in the end. So I do think that medication and these things can do us more harm than it should in the end. But like in my case, stuff like Mexaline then helped me a little bit through. I also had it today, so that's why I can look a little bit in further, but it's still started to a little bit, and I just try to focus on the good things and just, you know, relax as much as possible, try to do my work, lay down, do a little bit of stretching exercises just to move my body, not to focus on pain. That's also important, I think, or what's wrong with you. So yeah, that's basically that. One thing also I realized yesterday, it's Sean Baker posted, I think it was even 2 things on YouTube. It was one of the Denmark that they want to serve, you know, the vegan foods and so on. Just look it up. And the second part was, I can't remember what it was, but it was something similar. And it's just showing the one fear that I had the most, that seeing it also in my country, the worse, because there are basically 90% vegans. It's really going into this direction. Oh yeah, it was taxes for for farting cows. I think was it Denmark, or was it some kind of state? I can't remember what it was. It's just insane. It's just so ridiculous. And that's the problem we carnivores do have. We are just getting a little bit also frustrated with these situations, because if you see it, you cannot unsee it. And just to convince people from this perspective, knowing and having in your back of your mind that everybody will just say, oh, you're such a conspiracy theorist. What the hell is about that conspiracy theory? What is it? You see it with your own eyes. You see it that everybody's going vegan, but what is in vegan food? It's just chemicals. So what is good about that? Just to protect the cows? The cow's gonna live and you're gonna die? Is that what we are now going for? Of course, if you just think about logical, we don't have the resources on our planet to maintain the amount of people we are having on this fucking planet. So of course there must be a group of people who will try to reduce the amount of people who are living on a planet, because if not, we're all gonna die. Of course, I think just logical, just also from the perspective of the resources that we're having with water and everything. So what's the logical conclusion? That there is a group of people who are trying to put things out that will just reduce the fertility rate, also that women just can't give birth to children anymore, so they will reduce that. China politics, we don't have to talk about that, how they tried it, but then it backfired. And killing it with war and all these kind of things and diseases and viruses, because you have to reduce the amount of people on the planet. And now this is the best way to do it, just with implementing food that is not good for us, which doesn't have the nutrition, which doesn't have the vitamins and everything, and just man-made, and just fake it, which our body cannot absorb most of the time. And people do believe that it can absorb because it's too expensive, even for most of the people, to check their blood in that detail to maybe see that this is all bullshit what they're eating. And spreading all this wrong information on the media is really hard for people who see what's going on to unsee it, especially when you have kids. It's so hurtful. It's really hurting my heart seeing so many, how they treat kids with the food and what they're giving them, and especially in schools where you can't do anything about it. And then every mom who is teaching their kids at home, I see it in America. For us here, that's not a thing. In America, it seems more of a thing, teaching the kids at home. How they've been judged by the public. They want to just exclude the kids from normal food, and they're doing harm to these kids and this kind of movement. It's hard. It's really hard just to just not see that. And yeah, it's just a little bit of these negative minds, and I hope we can change it just to something a little bit more positive and a positive perspective, and just have a backup plan. Because I do honestly think, when I see the movement that happened to vegan food in my country, how fast it got there, it's maybe, let me lie, but 6 years, something about that. When the hype started, it was like 6 years, it was a boom, and now we are here. We had just little shelves with vegan food and these kind of things, and now we are here. So or vegetarian food, and just reducing every meat kind of things. And that's what's worrying me. But in the back of my mind, I do have the plan B, that Bosnia, for example, I think they never ever, if you know my people, you know it, they never fucking ever will give up their meat. They're gonna just kill somebody before they're gonna give up their meat. So in the back of my head, I do have the plan B to just move to Bosnia. And they are very strict with a lot of things, and also kind of movements that are happening that I'm also not very happy with, but I'm not gonna talk about it because it's very controversial. My own personal opinion is just the world is ending. They're just losing it. They're just bored. And yeah, all the things that are not changing, and so sometimes we know we have some countries maybe that these things are better, but there you have other things you have to worry about, like corruption, and especially with police officers. It's really bad in my country. So not where the sun is, what do you say, the grass is green, not on every side. And so yeah, we have a plus and minus. So I'm gonna just smuggle meat from my country. It's about 4 hours away, so I'm gonna just smuggle some of it to to Austria then. But yeah, so I just lost it a little bit, but because I was in the mood of talking for 25 minutes. Yeah, I hope you guys are fine, and yeah, I'm gonna see us tomorrow, and yeah, that's it. That's it. So maybe just an update before I go. It's what's about my skin. My skin is getting okay. I don't have any makeup on, but I'm patchy because of the sun. So I got freckles, but not in a cutesy way, unfortunately. It's just they look like a patched in real life. So that's one thing. Since I'm back, I lost 1 kg, I think it was around that, but I'm still back. So what I wanted to show you, when you see like that, it looks strange, right? But if you see it like that, it looks okay. And it always depends on what you're wearing. But if you look like that, you see that. So it always depends on how you present yourself. So yeah, that's basically that. But and my legs, we don't gonna talk about that. We're gonna try to embrace our looks and our flaws, and sometimes it's getting better, sometimes it's not, depending on what I'm eating actually on Carnivore. But yeah, it's also important to know really. So that's it, and see you tomorrow as always. Bye.